Mark is coming down, and next one please. He's at Leh, and being served, hey sir, please come and sit down. Now this picture is very important because next day, this is at 6 in the evening now, so it's been 12 hours, he's covered some 78 kilometers or so. I'll have a picture of that, I'll show you that actually. The next one. So at night, night just passes by, and what happened was he suddenly hit the wall. Now, walls are a very popular term in marathon running, but suddenly, he is just very low on energy. His crew members had planned to kind of stop with him every 2-3 kilometers and kind of log frogly. And they basically were told, go ahead, I'm not feeling hungry. And suddenly, he was very hungry. And he was like, they're 2 or 3 kilometers ahead, how do I get there? Trust me, 2 to 3 kilometers after 80 or 90 odd kilometers is a lot, without food, feeling that hungry. And he almost passed out, and he just carried on, somehow he got there. Again, next one, so he had another interesting experience. So there he is, completely dehydrated after that when he got to the aid station. Next one. Bill had to go to the hospital because he was not able to breathe and stuff like that while he was standing, so we could rush him there. So he's starting next morning. Molly as well had to be taken to the hospital. So all of the three participants too had to go to the hospital. And next, Bill starts that morning. Next one, please. And Mark is just carrying on. And next. And here's the crew members, very excited about life, and as 5-star as it gets. And next. So they haven't slept for like 40 hours right now. That's Molly. Temperatures here were 40 plus degrees, or she said that she's done bad waters where temperatures are 65, and she was like had 3-4 layers of the sunscreen and all that, and still it was burning. And next one. So again, that whole thing about how she's burnt and all. And next. And you need to, radiation is an issue at a high altitude. That's something else. It's not only about temperatures. And this is where Bill gives up. He's done 100 kilometers. He's had severe pain here. Air is very less, anyways, and this is only Leh. He was rushed back to the hospital. Unfortunately for the guy, it was nothing to do with high altitude, interestingly enough. It was gallbladder infection. It was just happening at the wrong time. Nothing to do with altitude at all. Just that it complicated matters a bit. And so hospital, and he had a bad time, and he was then rushed back to Max, Delhi. It helps having the flyover very close to you, so that's what we did. That's Mark down now. Now, what had happened before this was, Molly was told by me that, Bill's off and he's going to Delhi. Now, because of that whole thing about being in a relationship and all that, she was anyway struggling. But then she quit right there and she flew back with him. Now, here Mark was like, what do I do? This event is announcing. So the guy is carrying on and on. Here, what happens just before this, it's around -5, -6 degrees. He tells the guys, the crew members, what can I have? And the crew members were like, sir, please come along, have a seat, and as good Indian host and all that. Now that's a big mistake because they forgot high altitude. A 2-minute Maggie is not a 2-minute Maggie anymore. It takes 16 minutes, 15 minutes to make it. So they were preparing the Maggie while the guy was shivering. So as long as you're moving, you don't feel cold, no matter what temperatures really. Suddenly the guy was shivering because the things were getting wet then. So it's about layers. That's what we deal with. When you're running, you work with layers, not so much about how thick something is. And he was shivering, and the water just wasn't boiling soon enough. And we had to just get it moving. That was the best thing we could do there. So luckily for us, hypothermia didn't actually happen, or it didn't happen bad enough. And we were just kind of feeding him whatever we could as he was moving along. But that was a big mistake and a good learning point for us. Or for the crew. And interesting enough, one of the crew members is a very established mountaineer. So the best guys out there make a mistake like that. And next one. That's more airplanes then. And next. And more airplanes again. And next one. And that's where Mark's coming along. And next. Now this is interesting. So yes, he's coming to the finish point. He comes to the finish point, and the way excited, passionate people are, they sometimes forget about the finer points in life. This finish banner is only printed on one side. So the guy is running to a banner which says blank, is white. Okay. So he actually first had finish pointing towards him. The cameraman was here, and we had a white stick here in front of him. So we told him, why don't you actually go back again 100 meters and run again for us? Which isn't right.
Just in case.
Yeah. And So this is the second picture we took. We have a video clip of that. That's not, I mean, he was very nice about it, but that's not very nice when you're done. Not like this. And next one. And that's the feast we had. And trust me, you know, no five-star hotel can beat this when you've not slept for 70 odd hours. And next. And that's what feeling is doing. And next. That's what it is. Thank you so much.